have the honor of being joined by the legendary DJ Musketeer. Musketeer.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for calling me there.
You gotta give the pulse for props to do, man.
Okay. But we'll get to it.
All right, so yeah. So for those of you who do not know, who is DJ Musketeer?
I'm just a little DJ. That's what I am. Yeah, so I DJ. I also produce as a day job, by the way. I work for Future Media in the production department. And and I produce. I'm on a bit of a producer hiatus, I have to be honest. And and DJ and also event organizer on MSA. So yeah, in entertainment, but always low key.
Lovely. So let's get to that prefix before her name, the DJ.
Yeah.
Where did your love for DJ come from, and where did you start? What has your journey been like?
Okay, so DJ, what people don't really know is like I'm actually somewhat of a baby when it comes to DJing. I haven't been DJing for as long as you would think, or as long as my peers have. I only started DJing 8 years ago now. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's relatively new to the game. My DJing journey came somewhat out of necessity, because I used to work for Red Bull, right?
Oh, crazy. Okay.
Yeah, so I used to work for Red Bull, and there's 1 year when I didn't have a marketing manager. So not having a marketing manager also means that the funds are not as ready to give when it comes to supporting events. So I thought, okay, I better have to do something out there. And the idea was, if I became kind of the sponsorship, right? If I become a DJ and became the sponsorship to the event, then I don't have to charge myself for the sponsorship. And the better I get, the bigger the sponsorship would be. And all I have to do is kind of get speakers, and Red Bull cases are easier to come by. So that started my need for DJing, and hence also the name DJ Musketeer, because Musketeer comes from the fact that Red Bull employees were called Musketeers at that point in time.
Crazy.
So that's why it brought in the name. So yeah, and then I started DJing. I started trying to get better and better, and then that's the rest is history. And then it was kind of the usual start. You go somewhere to kind of be a club DJ. So I kind of started at. Actually, real first starts were at Club London, which is also again Plaito. Yeah. So back in the day, Club London, when Droopy and Alu and Cranky were still there. So I went there and asked, hey, can I just do the opening slots? And then they said, yeah, okay, cool. That was the first time DJing on 350s. Then where I used to have fun was Piccolo as well, the old one, the first Piccolo.
Yeah, by Bromo.
Yeah.
Cruise. Yeah. Okay.
So that's where I also started. That's where I was more hip hop and also EDM at the time, 2016. And then after that, Chopsy actually. Yeah. So I was kind of shadowing the what is it called? The Demon.
Yeah.
So I was what is it called? Forgot the name. You guys need to do a reunion. I don't know. Yeah. So that's really where the beginning started. And again, somebody who was a great influence into the direction that I went into was actually DJ Alu, who at London told me, it was a beginning stage, right? You're kind of trying to find your feed. What am I DJing? Then you're all immediately looking towards what's popular. Where can I get bookings? What style of music can I get bookings? And it just so happened that the most bookings were at Club London. So I thought, okay, and I have to play that EDM.
Yeah.
It was one day when I was playing, and Alu was listening to me, and I was like playing, and I was getting better. He's like, congratulations, you're getting better. But then I told him, like, you know what? I play this, I'm getting better at it, but I'm not feeling it as much. And he told me the biggest thing is like, if you're not feeling it, then don't play. Just stick to what you just kind of rather play what you love playing. Yeah, and then that's when I kind of started playing hip hop a lot more. I was a journey as a DJ, but that was also because I was a producer first. I actually went to study production, so that was me first, and producing happens in '60s. So that's the DJ bit.
All right. So I always ask these questions to DJs, and especially because you are a hip hop DJ, where do you necessarily draw the line between educating your audience and putting them on to new tracks and playing the stuff will get a jump in the club?
So here, that's basically the decision that you make in terms of what DJ you want to become, right? So mine goes a lot deeper. So I love having a bag. Like you can get your tracks, right? But you get depending on the set, but you get like 40% what I love. In a lot of sets and a lot of genres, I will always kind of be close to it, right? Because you always have like one group that knows that one track, and the next group that knows that one track, right?
Yeah.
So you kind of bring them together, especially on your R&B sets. But in terms of hip hop, like you're going to get 70% me. Like really, especially like when it comes to the underground, that's really just me. But I also know that that means I won't get bigger bookings because I don't necessarily, I can if I have to, but I know you kind of see that maybe I'm not as perfect as I should be. I used to think that until 2 years ago, but now it's like, yeah, I can also do that. But yeah, how much you give your audience or what they want depends on what type of DJ you are. Are you going to be the guy that's going to be at the festivals, in club booking, on rotation? Then yeah, you got to play what the people want to hear. If you're more like me, I'm an event DJ, so I can go a bit deeper.
All right, so seeing as we are at the home of all things vinyl and music and DJs, Groove Boutique, we look at a British Style vinyl edition, right? What would you say was the first time that you fell in love with one of these vinyls or vinyl in particular?
Two parts actually. First of all, I'm an 80s baby, so
Yeah.
that's how I still remember when I was a baby. I still remember records, right? So that was kind of the basis of music. But then personally, I fell in love. That was 2010, 2010. I was in Germany studying sound engineering, and then I kind of got into sample-based beat production.
Yeah.
So that's when now I decided, okay, let me get a turntable. And like the cool thing is, when you get a record and you spin it and then you sample it and whatnot, and then that's exactly where I fell in love with vinyl myself. Because you could buy music, you could touch music. I just love like feeling music, especially on vinyl. Like a CD is close, but actually feeling music on vinyl is just different. It's like it's just different, I believe. Yeah, and then comes the journey of you could kind of putting together the collection. That's also started in 2009, 2010. With some of the records that I built that time. But yeah, that's 2009, 2010 when I started through sample-based production.
And we talk about playing on vinyl and spinning actual vinyl set. When did that journey begin?
Yeah, I'm still on that journey. Look, the most challenging part is then I started collecting vinyl late. I only started collecting vinyl, like my own collection. Okay, so I think every vinyl collector will go through 2 stages of my collection. Right? There comes the first stage where you're just so enthusiastic about vinyl where you just get anything. It's like, so that's the beginning journey. So I had this one record of like this one here, right? By the way, it's also in German, right? And it's kind of those mouth harp.
Mundharmonika.
Yeah, Mundharmonika. Those mouth harping, they'll say the things. A full record just of that. And I just got crazy. I just found it. I just saw that Mundharmonika music, and I was like, yeah. Cool, that could be cool to sample. Man, I put it on and I realized I did not have the production chops to sample this yet. But it's kind of a record I always kind of sometimes go back to and see, can I now? But haven't been too successful. Again, I'm on a hiatus, so maybe after the hiatus, I actually get into it more. But this is like first stage of vinyl collection where you just kind of collect anything, right? And then you kind of get to that next stage where you kind of collect, especially as a hip-hop collector, when you don't have access to too many hip-hop records, then you could start collecting the samplers or those songs, right? So this one kind of started this journey for me, right? Again, you can kind of just follow the part. This is Willie Hutch's In and Out, right?
Okay.
And it has this song, Tell Me Why Has Your Love Not Turned Cold, right? And that's why I got this record, right? That's a sample of Stay Fly, 3 Mafia.
No way.
Yeah. That's this song.
That's crazy. Okay.
Yeah. So this started my love when I heard, hey, this was sampled. And
Yeah.
Willie Hutch. Found the sample, and I kind of just went back to it. And then you get to the stage where you really collect things that are more for some things for history as well. Look at the Curtis Blow. Yeah. So yeah, I'm an 80s baby, I know, but now I'm getting music from my actual years. So this was remixed in the 80s, 1980s. So it was 5 years before I was born. But we still go back and they say, yeah, the OGs, that music was before my time. And it's like, yeah, but I also collect music from my time, right? And then you get to the records that you say I actually love, right? The classics, like, of course,
Classic.
right? You can't go wrong with classic, right? At the end, yeah, undeniably a classic, right? But then you have a bit more underground classics. Well, not a classic actually, just underground. Skyzoo and Pete Rock, they came up with this Retropolitan album. It's kind of, you have an artist, and you're trying to find the specific album, but then you love an artist so much that you just can't compromise and say like, "Can't mind, I'll get this album." This was the Skies and Key to Metropolitan. It's not about in Amoeba Records battle in LA. So that's that one. And then you get to the stage where, well, Amoeba Records, actually that one actually has a cool story as well, but I'll get to that later. And then you get to the rare ones, the rare find, Yabari, which is like this one. Main source, breaking atoms, right? You know why this one's so rare? Because it has a Live at the Barbecue, on it, yeah? Mm-hmm. Which is Nas's first recorded verse.
No way.
Yeah. So this album had Nas's first recorded verse even before on that. It was just a feature on Live at the Barbecue.
What year was that?
So this is early 90s, yeah? Very early 90s. Let me see exactly. I'm finding it on here. Yeah, but it should be 91, 92. Yeah, 91, 92. Yeah. That was before everything. And this is the original person. So that's, and I think those are the stages of vinyl collection. Again, the rest have stories within themselves. Yeah, about other records that have story.
So I see you handed on to that section 80. So as much as you show us like the older vinyls and everything, I think it's also very important to talk about the fact that as much as vinyls and records had this misconception of being for the olden generation, newer things are starting to come back into play.
Yeah.
When did you get that section 80 back?
So this record itself has a special place in my heart. I was in Germany and I was working at this radio station, like just a side gig, right? And it had this hip hop show.
Yeah.
So that was kind of my diet into deeper hip hop, like literally underground hip hop, underground things, because there was this guy that I was working with who had such a deep knowledge. So every week I had to kind of get my knowledge up. I had to listen to new tracks in the underground and also come with my suggestions. Hey, don't you want to play this, right? And that one, well, Section 80 now is the time when Kendrick Lamar was starting to be talked about. Hey, there's this new cat who's kind of co-signed by Dr. Dre. Yeah, whoa, okay, yeah, Kendrick. And then this one dropped the same day as Watch the Throne drop. And it was this for me. Also.
So you got Section 80 over Watch the Throne?
Yeah. So I was a lot. Yeah, okay. That was me. In that time, I was like, Watch the Throne, yeah, I was at the clubs everywhere. And I listened to this the first time and I was like, instant love. So that was a kind of like, I was there before a lot of people with Kendrick Lamar.
Favorite song off Section 80?
I can't. I have interesting songs. Again, on stories with this one. Rigor Mortis, of course, the way he's freestyling on there. No Makeup, a story within itself, and then also kind of that shout out to Keisha's song, which then is a shout out on the Good Kid, Mad City.
Yeah.
Right. So it's that story, but then Spiteful Chant, because that sample in Assassin's Creed. That sample is actually an Assassin's Creed song, but it's sample on this one. So it's just to me. This is start arguments, but this is T-Pap, Good Kid, Mad City on this one in the rankings. Yeah, that's a story for another day. Now, the funny thing about me, and I think when I tell you, you'll find me weird, right? I have a slight German accent, a very, very slight German accent.
I hear it now.
There you go. Right? Yeah. When I spoke about it, I was studying in Germany. That's when I went back to Germany and to study. But I was born and raised in Germany. So from 0 till 11, and I was raised by a German family. Yeah, still. Yeah. So that's how deep the roots go, right? So there's one record that kind of has a bit of a story. Actually, to begin on Bullet. I think this is one of the most important records from my teenage years, right? Because this has kind of gotten me friend zones, right? So the story is I went to Frankfurt with my friend, right? He just introduced me to, he was Namibian, he is Namibian, but from Frankfurt. So then we went to visit his home city, right? So you know how you're always 16, 17 years old, right? It's like, yeah, everybody's trying to act cool, and he's coming with a new guy, it's like kind of outside of everything, right? So we walk into this basement type situation because we know everybody had a basement, right? So everybody sitting on the couch and basement, and of course hip hop TV is around the banging. And then this song, Frixie comes on, right? And as they're talking, I'm just standing here bopping mad because that's my favorite song. And I just start rapping the whole thing. And these guys, I didn't even notice, they just started looking at me. It's like, yo, who is this guy?
Yeah.
Ice was broken. So
you started rapping this in German?
Yeah.
Exactly.
This is good. As I said, that's very my heritage. Yeah, I started listening to hip hop when I was 8. That was 8 in German. So basically, and also 8 means that was the rise of German hip hop, right?
Yeah.
So that's the one side of my heritage, so to speak, right?
What's the other side?
The other side is Namibian, actually. So I have no 3 Namibian meat records, right? So Brain Your Tool,
Yeah.
so Brain Your Tool, Black Vulcanite, and
KTP.
Yeah. So those are my definitely my pride and joy. Because again, it's somewhat this one. I kind of helped them on one song. That was like when I came back, which was not how to rap about Africa. Yeah, that one. Yeah. This one, Brain the Tool, when it came out, I was like, who's Brain the Tool? And then he was selling these. And I was like, you know what, give me, it's fine. And I was blown away by the talent that this one was displaying on that one.
Yeah.
And of course, KP, he's like, KP, that was his come up. Like, I think,
The Spicy with Bishop, right?
yeah.
Classic.
I think this one is when KP showed, like, he come.
Yeah.
Right? Like, this was it. I think this started everything that followed. So, yeah, this one's also pretty cool. Everybody loves okay, but my favorite is Long Live Ongu.
That's actually my favorite song too. That's great.
That's my favorite. Right?
Yeah.
So that's my story with the records.
That's great, Musketeer. Thank you so much for joining us. I think right now what Musketeer is going to do what he does best and go spin a few records on that DJ deck. Stay tuned.